Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and the first thing we're going to check out in this mid-month update is Professor X with this massive upgrade of a uniform. Visually, aesthetically, and in terms of survivability, offense, defense, this is a massive upgrade for a character who essentially has not gotten anything since he was released, which was now back in like 2020. Now he did get a visual refresh in 2021 with the wheelchair Jim Lee uniform, but that basically, that didn't do anything for him. And since then, it's been nothing. So basically 3 years for this character to finally get a meaningful upgrade. And I can happily report that this upgrade is good enough at tier 3. You don't even need to go up to level 80 to see massive return. So let's check out the build here. Let's check out the skills first and then the build. And then we'll talk about everything else. So as far as his skills go, he's got a lot of similar types of skills as before, like from the old uniform, but now they're colored with purple and gold rather than blue. So you got a little bit of the Lakers colors going through, which is kind of cool. Literally no reference whatsoever to Professor X necessarily, but just looks cool. You have that massive X coming back. He also has a gold cup that he sort of cheerses you with, a la Loki with the tier 3. And then his 5th skill also looks really cool, and it has that sort of Cerebro thing. The nice thing is now you can cancel 5 and 3 instantly and still get the hits. So you have a really nice 3 cancel 5 cancel 4 combo where you can rack up like 60 hits on a single target. You can see there I hit 128 hits on 2 targets, so just divide that by 2 and that is what you get. His tier 3 remains exactly the same. You can still delay cancel it. You don't instant cancel the tier 3, but you can absolutely delay cancel it after just a little bit. See, if you cancel it too quickly, nothing happens, but if you delay it just enough, then you can combo it into other skills. He also now has a V-pad on his 1st skill, so you can use that to reposition yourself in between rotations, which is really nice for more difficult bosses. So I personally think his skill upgrades are a massive win, despite the fact that there isn't a massive change to the animations. Again, these animations do seem a little bit reminiscent of his old uniforms, but frankly, he has some of the coolest and some of the most unique animations in the game. They're not like anybody else's, so I kind of, I give them a pass on that. And they did update the color schemes. They did add some new sort of waves and sort of things like that. And they also did make it so that a lot of that stuff is cancelable, which is very, very nice. As far as the rest of the build goes, I still have 3 Odin's Blessings on him. So those are just, 4 Odin's Blessings. Those are just going to stay there. The build looks like this with almost everything capped except a little bit of dodge and a little bit of crit rate missing. He has the mind resist and the mind and the leadership tag. Remember, Professor X has the leadership tag, so he can take advantage of the full White Fox buffs, which is huge for farming, for DPSing in World Boss Legend and GBR, etc., because you can just go ham with this dude. However, for high-level World Boss Legend, you're probably not going to be able to line him up on a stage with White Fox, because he's either going to be on mutant stages, or he's going to be on blast stages, or male stages. There's only one stage or two stages that use leadership, and it's like lower stages of Mephisto, where you don't really need to worry about using Professor X for that. But yeah, the rest of the build goes stage 12 Power Ranger Hulk, and then I have a CTP of Judgment. So we are rocking a CTP here. He doesn't have very much elemental damage on his base kit until you take him up to tier 4, where his tier 4 passive or effect, I guess, can give him up to 70% elemental damage, which is very, very nice. Also, if you have his artifact, he gets elemental damage through his leadership by converting his mind resist into mind damage, but otherwise he just has the 35% there. So yeah, very easy to take advantage of the TTP of Judgment to crank out his damage. And then he's got chain hit and guard break immunity. Let's go ahead and take him into some content now so that I can show you guys a comparison. We're just going to do like a stage 9 null, just very simple. He can do stage 54, but I want to quickly do a comparison to the old uni. I don't do a lot of comparisons anymore with old unis, but it's absolutely insane how much better the new one is. All right, so first up, we're going to see the old uniform just to remind ourselves of what this guy was capable of doing. And spoiler alert, it's not very much, but hey, let's see what he can do. We're going to do 1, 2, 4, 5. It's interesting that it's such a different rotation now compared to what it used to be. Just how the character has changed so much in the 3 years. We get caught by the first cage, which is kind of a bummer there. But it does give us time to set this next rotation up so we can kind of pop off here. This is like not bad. I mean, it is stage 9, which is a pretty low stage for having a CTP equipped, for having 25% pierce, etc. We're gonna go. Wanted to go right into 5 to avoid the tornadoes, but yeah. The other thing is this uniform doesn't have any protection. Holy shit. So you don't really have any way of dodging these mechanics. You really only have the 5th skill with the invincibility and then whatever iframes you have. Otherwise, you don't have any protection at all. So it can be pretty brutal. We're going to do 5 into 6 because we get the accumulation. The accumulation is basically the only way to scale Professor X's damage. So this is not bad. It will be bad once you're surprised by how much better his uniform is. But okay, let's do another 30 seconds here and let's see how far we get. Just keep in mind it took us about a minute to get here. So I mean, it is what it is. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad either. Okay. We're gonna get caught by these. Yeah, we're gonna get caught by all these cages. Okay, we weren't able to push him out of the spike phase before he started popping it off, which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, so in about 90 seconds, we got down to the dragon phase. Not bad, right? Let's see how the new Professor X does. Here we go. New Professor X. We're going to do 3 cancel, 5 cancel, 4 rotation, or 5 cancel, 3 cancel, 4 in this case, since I forgot to press. Then we're just going to go into 1. Oh, would you look at that? The damage is absolutely insane. Yeah, this is nutty, bro. I'm done. 14-second phase 1, by the way, guys. 14 seconds, okay? Remember how long it took to get down to the dragon phase? What was it? 90 seconds? Bruh, this is disgusting. I'm 30 seconds into the fight. He hits so much harder now. So much harder. It's actually nuts. And he has the invincibility now and the immunity. That's without the judgment proc. Bro, the judgment proc didn't even activate. That's nuts. Bro, look at this. Bro, he just pops off. We're just going to pop the tier 3 right away to just keep doing damage. Because it just does not matter. And then finish it off. Boom. Oh, it turned off the Elgato. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 4:04, 56 seconds. We finished the entire fight. So it's mind-boggling how much better this uniform is, okay? So if you like Professor X and if you have Professor X, this uniform is sort of a must-buy because it is night and day. Like, this dude is basically unusable and he suddenly becomes actually good. Actually good to the point where if you didn't build up Polaris for whatever reason, okay, maybe Polaris is not the best example because I'm about to use her, but for example, like if you don't have some of these other mutants built up or you haven't invested in them, he can fly through some of this content now. He does have a survivability issue, but let me show you on stage 54 of Null. We're going to use double support here, but on stage 54 of Null, he has enough damage with just a regular CTP, which is very, very impressive. And remember, this is just level 70. I think he could have been a little bit better at level 70. Like, there are better level 70 tier 3 heroes out there, but at the same time, that was a bit of a delayed intro. At the same time, he is quite good. Right, he is quite good for a level 70 tier 3, and he certainly, he certainly competes with the better of them, the better, like the tier 3 level 70s. Now, I wouldn't cancel into 6. I would always delay 6 and then go into your rotation with a delay cancel on 6 at the beginning, just because 4 does way more damage, and 4 also has the damage proc that's really hard to pass over. So there we did 3, 5, 6, 4. Again, the proccing doesn't matter too much with a judgment because you can't really miss the proc. But the point I'm trying to make is to just always end with the 4th skill in your rotation. Don't try to pass everything off onto 5 because, or sorry, 6, because 6 just doesn't pop off like 4 does. But yeah, look at this. Survivability is an issue for him. Well, look at this, a minute. So good. So he has more than enough damage to do this stage, which is honestly still quite difficult for characters that don't have... it's honestly still quite difficult for characters that don't have the ability to go past level 70. Like sure, Storm and Storm with the seasonal uniform and Magneto with the seasonal uniform at level 72 2 can both do this stage. But I don't even know if they can do it at 70, or it's quite difficult for them. And the difference being they have seasonal uniforms. Like, that's really hard to underestimate, I guess. Like, having seasonal uniforms just suck, man. A lot of players just can't pick up seasonal uniforms. So in this case, it is something that I think sells this uniform a little bit. But on the flip side, I wanted to show you this, not to show you the full clear, but to show you that he does have survivability issues. Absolutely. He doesn't heal enough with only a 20% heal. Sometimes he can still die, which is pretty disappointing if you ask me. And from what I've heard, Tier 4 doesn't solve that exactly. So if you're not a fan of squishier characters, which, let's be honest, Professor X has always been kind of a squishy character, but still, right, it's important to review the character. Oh, I got debuffed. That sucked. I just died to the jump. Yeah, I got debuffed. That was really unfortunate. But yeah, I wanted to highlight that because I do think he is a little squishy. So yeah, if squishy is not really your thing, then just be careful there. But yeah, that is the initial take on Professor X. I think it's a massive, massive upgrade for him. I don't think it makes him proc friendly though. From what I've heard from other players who have tried using him with a proc, I think he, like, it sort of seems like he could be proc friendly, but I'm also not paying too close attention to how I am playing him with a judgment. But yeah, 3 cancel, 5 cancel, 4, 3 cancel, 5 cancel, 4, and then 3 cancel, 6 cancel, 5 cancel, 4. I think you could make it work with a proc. I'm not 100% sure, but he certainly works with a judgment. He could maybe work with a rage. I'm not sure if you would want to do that for something like ABX if you don't have Iron Man built up for the Blast male hero. But otherwise, I don't think he's going to make too much of a splash in ABX. My sort of just speculation very early on. This is not my final verdict on the character whatsoever, but I'm certainly happy with his production and happy with his upgrade. Would have liked a little bit more survivability, like if the heal would tick twice instead of once, or if the heal was for 30% of his HP rather than 20%. And again, as a blast type, pretty low stats, low defenses, low HP. So you kind of have to, like, his HP is lower than his attack, right? So you kind of have to contend with that. But he looks cool, he sounds dope, and he finally hits like a truck, which is what he's supposed to do. So yeah, I can't wait to take him to level 80 and show you guys more content. I think what I'll do is I'll take him to level 80 and I'll try him with a proc as well. So I'll show you guys level 80 tier 3 with a judgment and with a proc. I think some people may be satisfied with his production at level 80 and not need to take him to tier 4. But I still want to show you guys both options with both a proc and a judgment to see which one you guys prefer. But yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Professor X's massive glow up. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.